Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hallownest! Last time, we went back to the very start of the game up in King's Pass, and, as is usual for this game, discovered a lot more stuff than we expected to find. We found the whole secret area of the Howling Cliffs, including many fun areas within, such as the Nailmaster's Hut, where we got a nail art ability, Joni's Repose, which was beautiful looking and gave us a charm, and then this bottom area, which was pretty unremarkable, probably the most boring area in the whole thing. Anyway, this time, I've been saying for 2 videos now that I want to go deep down into the world, and this time we're gonna go freaking deep down into the world, though I might take a stop here and here and here on the way. But we will be getting to this, I promise. Pinky swear, thumb swear. Thumb swears should be a thing. They should be, like, considered even more important than a pinky swear. A pinky promise, I guess, is the real name for that, you know. How about a thumb promise? I guess because your thumbs are the shortest. Are they shorter than pinkies, though? Because they're pretty short compared to your other fingers, it might be, like, awkward to curl them around someone else's. I don't know. This is getting off to a weird start, but it's fine. Let me kill you to get your entry. And then I had a feeling that there was something more to see inside this room. I forgot I don't have Gathering Swarm. Give me a second. There we go. So I'm gonna go back inside and see if there's anything else. There's just this room of these guys and nothing else. Pow, 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 pow. There we go. Now, I do hear a voice coming from this direction. And thinking about it, all of these guys are technically grunting as they're walking around, so it probably isn't a private moment, and we could probably go inside and bother them. Hello, who might you be? Oh my god. It's Elon Musk. Die! Sorry. This is a unique enemy known as a gluttonous husk. No, wait, no, that's one of the regular ones. This is known as a gorgeous husk. A husk that has so much money, it has literally turned into gold. And upon killing it, you get all of its life savings. 420 geo. I could have sworn it dropped more than that, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's read more about it. Gorgeous husk. Corpulent husk entrusted with a shining metal. Retains the instinct to hoard geo. There is beauty in many things, reflections of light and water, the taste of freshly killed meat, the cry of a hatchling for its mother. I've never understood the lust for metals and stones, though. I've also never understood the lust for power over a website, but you know. Main thing about the gluttonous husk, or the gorgeous husk, god, I keep messing that up, is that it's really tanky and it barely attacks you. Or like, it only hits you with contact damage, it doesn't even try to go for you. Drops a load of money upon being killed. Here goes my English being bad again for like the 9th video in a row, however long we're going now. Anyway, yeah. Aside from that, it's just a thing. It's a one-of-a-kind encounter. Once it's dead, you never see it again. One of the few permanent kills in this game. There really aren't that many of those. They're all over the place in the Dark Souls games, which I feel like this game, though it isn't 100% inspired by Dark Souls, it definitely takes some elements from it with the whole, like, checkpoints, setting at a checkpoint respawns certain enemies thing, and the death system, obviously, and actually also the healing system is inspired by the rally system in Bloodborne. So that's a fun fact I thought I would share. I'd like to return briefly to here, because if we remember, last time we discovered Isthmus Grove, and it was actually Dung Defender was keeping guard of it by having that place full of acid, and we had to defeat him in order to unlock the way there, which we just kind of unlocked the way prematurely without knowing that we unlocked anything, but that's how it went. Now that we've gotten Isthmus Tyr, I wonder if he has something to say. Ah! That Tyr, you've been to her grove! I swore I'd visit, but my duties, my oath. Oh, I'm sorry, ignore me, I'm being foolish. If I'm not careful, I'll sink down to old memories and won't ever come back again. I forgot what my voice for this guy was, so sorry about that. She's a great judge of character, so if she gave you her blessing, you must be something special indeed. I'm barely worthy to be in your presence. She looks kind of dead to me, but I don't know if I should tell you that. Clearly you seem to think fondly of her. Go now, mighty warrior of Hallownest. Sure, indeed. Alright, so that's just a little bit of flavor dialogue that he says, if you have Isthmus Tyr. Alright, time to go further down. This part gets really dangerous. Look at all these spikes. Look at these spikes at an angle. You can kind of bounce up them, though not nearly as well as you can bounce up a straight wall of spikes, or perhaps even these ones. Can you, like... Okay, you can hit these things, but they don't push you down at all, do they? It'd be cool if you could, like, fall faster by hitting spikes on the ceiling. You can't, though. Dash over to get this. Dash back. I don't have Gathering Storm, so some of this geo is going to fall into the spikes. That's going to bother me until the end of time. This part's interesting. Drop down to the left here, hit this, lose like more than half the geo because it all went into the spikes. My god, I should have gotten Gathering Storm for this. Yeah, if you just get hit, you actually go back up there, which is kind of the main way you can get out, the main way you're likely to get out. Alternatively, you can just bounce up the spikes like that, if you know how to do that. Let's do that. Let's say that 3 times in a row, all in different sentences. Let's pay respect to our lost comrades, the geo that dropped in the spikes and now I can't get. Hey, there's the tunnel we dashed right through. And here's the space below. I like this room a lot, how it gets more and more grayscale. And then these dark particles start to appear in the air the further you get down. Sets the tone wonderfully for what's coming up next. And yes, this used to be an elevator shaft. That's what the big line at the top of the room on the map is supposed to be. It's supposed to be connected to the elevator, but it isn't. The elevator kind of died. I was hoping I could break that. Would definitely be very nice to have the elevator through this room, but don't worry, they thought of us and put a bunch of scaffolding and construction work in here instead. Perhaps preparing to start building something, but then never actually getting around to it. Perhaps the kingdom died before they could? Something like that? I don't know. Cut down that sign, because who needs a sign pointing me to where we go? I'd rather just go there and see what it is myself. I don't need games to point me in that direction. Come on now. Down below us. That's the same living mass hazard floor that we saw in Deepnest. I think we can... Okay. I think we can use Crystal Dash here to get a thing, a Wanderer's Journal, as well as a corpse. Do you have anything to say? The madness spreads. Yeah, no shit. Madness has spread even to me sometimes. I don't know what that meant. But yes, the madness has clearly been spreading among all the people down here, or else they wouldn't be so trigger-happy with their swords and crap. Okay, there you go. Or sometimes just their hands, or their heads. Like if they're trying to headbutt you. There's a wide variety of weapons that you face in this game. There's spears, there's swords, and bug bodies. I don't know. It's like the Wandering Husks, they attack you with themselves. They attack you with contact damage. I lost literally all of that geo because I didn't have that charm on. That hurts. Like, I don't really need it, but it still hurts. Dances through the air just out of reach until it spots an opening, then swoops in for a decisive strike. But I didn't tunnel you. How are you using decisive strike on me? If you're confident, wait for it to come to you, then counterattack. I don't know if that strategy is the best idea, but, yeah, you know. I mean, what the fuck was that? Did you hear that audio? What the fuck was that? Its voice started out like 12 octaves lower. Are you kidding me, dude? I can't get this geo. Look at the way I'm jumping, that's funny. Anyway, what was I saying before that? I don't know what that was about. Anyway, I guess, like, waiting for them to get closer to you, then attack, and then you follow up with the spell? Sure. I guess that works. It's just, I don't know how well the hunter's strategies actually carry into the true game's combat feel. That's what I had to say. Alright, that's 25 geo in my pockets. That's things in the foreground not cut down, because you can't cut these ones down, but you can cut the ones that deep. Okay, you can cut that one strand down. That one strand is the only one that was close enough to you, and that is the explanation for that, I'm assuming. What is all this stuff again? There's stuff like this all over the place. Just featureless, dark vines from the ceiling. I think it's all supposed to be different things. Or maybe not. Maybe it is supposed to be the same thing. Drop into this mighty royal official-looking door. This place feels like where the higher-ups of the kingdom would live, and yet it is completely deserted. With nothing left but this little tram station. Mechanism of the slot for some kind of pass, but you don't have that yet. We need to pass the test first. The test being having a pass. You've passed! Or something, I don't know. We can go even further down here and finally reveal this area's name. Eventually. Yes, there it is. Ancient Basin. This is a pretty small, not very, like, featureful area. Well, first of all, we have new enemies. What are these called again? Shadow creepers. I knew they had creeper in their name, but I couldn't remember exactly. They crawl back and forth. Sometimes they climb walls. They're a little bit more tanky than the average crawlid enemies, but otherwise, they're just the average crawlid enemies. Ancient Basin is not very big, not very full of features to see. It's definitely not like the hot tourist destination of Hallownest or anything, but it is one of my favorite areas in the game because it is incredibly deep down in the world. We've passed by all of this. We've gone all the way down here, even deeper. This area, more than any other, encapsulates one of my favorite things about exploration progression in games. The fact that you have no idea just like how big a space is. In this game's case, and in a game like, say, Dark Souls 1's case, you have no idea how deep you can go in the world. You just start all the way up here in Crossroads, you know, it's a little deep down, then Fungal Waste is deeper than that. I think City of Tears isn't actually any deeper than that. So you might think like, ooh, Fungal Waste is the bottom of the world. Ooh, Deep Nest is the bottom of the world. But in truth, this is. And discovering this for the first time and realizing like, holy shit, we've gotten so far down. It's one of the coolest feelings in this game to me. Old caverns, these ones. Can't you just feel the weight of the kingdom above? It's a heavy thing, all right? Is the air pressure down here, like, super high or something? Would that be a thing? If you were to go all the way down into the Earth's mantle, would air pressure start to be a thing? Kind of like how water pressure is a thing with the ocean? I reckon not many would reach these depths. Meet these depths? We're pioneers, you and I. At least in recent history. 112, I will take that. It's a long trek back to the shop from here. I'll be resting my legs a little longer. Not too long, though. Won't do to have Iselda worrying after me. Yeah, it's gonna be a long climb out of here, buddy. Here's the map. Here's the big room we're in. We have palace grounds to our right. A locked bench, that's what the grayed out symbol means right there. And somewhere to go down below. But I think, actually, to start, I did not go left in this train station room up above. I mainly wanted to get this area's name as well as the map by going in here, but now that we have that, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I guess that's pointing to the palace grounds, those signs. Now we know. Then we're gonna check out what's left here. What do you know? There's somewhere to go. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered coming down here in the first place. New enemy! This is a... I want to say lesser Moloch? Yeah, I think so. It's kind of like the Brooding Moloch, but a regular enemy variety. And it's also not really like the Brooding Moloch a whole lot, aside from design. You know, anyway. It has the slashing attack that it just hit me with twice there. It also can shoot a burst of fireballs like that. You'll just want to stay away from that. Once the fireballs hit the ground, they actually linger on the ground for a while. That's something the Brooding Moloch didn't have. So I guess they're not entirely lesser versions. Down here we have the sound of a bellfly as well as a fragile floor to hit. And then we have you. I hit you twice with that. Huh, get destroyed. So if they rear back and go, they're about to slash. Otherwise, they're about to shoot fireballs. So when you expect their slash, just jump away from them. Got a grub to save down here. It is possible to come down here before getting the stomp. So if you don't have the stomp yet, the desolate dive yet, you can't save that grub, very sadly. It was actually kind of surprising to see, like, when I first played this game, I found Soul Sanctum pretty quick when I was exploring City of Tears. Like, I just climbed to the top of that tower and I was like, ooh, this area. I'm guessing this is where I'm supposed to go next. But a lot of other people I've seen play this game found Soul Sanctum much, much later. Or they either forgot it existed. That's interesting. Wait, is there a... Okay, I must be hitting the side of the wall and it looks like I'm hitting an invisible ceiling or something. A lot of people either, like, they forget it exists, or they have other places in the world that they're much more interested in going to, so they end up saving it for a lot later. And that definitely showed me how limited some areas are if you don't have the stomp yet. For example, this area, I can't save that grub. I know, it's so limited, right? That you can't save the grub down here? Anyway, yeah, like, otherwise you have no reason to come back here if you can just get the grub on your first go. But that made, like, the players have to backtrack if they wanted to save all the grubs. I don't know where I'm going with this. You know what I mean. Why did you de-aggro? Oh, you joined your friend. Okay. You were, like, sought comfort from your friend, and now you're fighting together. I see how it is. Okay. Got that. We hear a slightly familiar snoring sound from earlier in the game, as well as a slightly familiar weapon there being resting on the ground there. Hello there. I thought you were a husk guard, but no, you're just cloth again, sleeping underneath the ground for some reason. Why are you sleeping here? My friend, you dealt with all those beasts? I'm ashamed to say, I was hiding. Those ghastly things chased me, and I ran. If you hadn't come along, who knows if I'd ever survived. Others take me for a fearsome warrior, what with my impressive size, but this kingdom's beasts, I wonder if I'm just no match for them. Enough! I cannot wallow in my weakness. I must take strength from your example. You act so confident in battle. You show no fear before your foes. I'll try my best to do the same. This is the second time that we've witnessed her not feeling that confident in front of foes. But honestly, I can't blame you. They are pretty scary. I look forward to our next contact, tiny savior. Then you'll meet a warrior with courage to match your own. I look forward to seeing that. I like to think that she actually, like, stole the clubs from one of the Husk guards earlier in the game. What do you have to say in your head? Such luck, this tiny one appears at just the right moment, and what masterful skill it shows. It's a warrior that sets powerful precedent. I do well to learn from its form. Indeed, you do well to learn from me. I mean, I just have the powers of, like, being controlled within a video game, meaning I can do insanely fast movements that no actual living being will be able to do. Pow! Alright. What do we have down here? Oh, yep, we got 2 of them sleeping. And, more than that, actually, this is a combat arena of sorts. You are locked in here, can't jump back out of it, at least right now we can't do that, until later. Oh, I can't do anything about the things on the ground. For some reason, I thought I could, just because it does look like times when, like, when we killed the brooding Molech, a bunch of the orange blobs came out of it, and then those ones stuck on the ground, but those ones don't. There we go. I need to get better at these guys, jeez. I swear I'm good at this game. I swear I can kill the lesser Molechs effectively and not take 1 billion damage the whole time. Make your way here, and you get another piece of pale ore for exploring here. We have 2 pieces now. I guess we're planning ahead for the next upgrade after the 3rd one, which I may or may not do at some point. I don't know. I think I'd rather wait a bit longer on that. I'll make the choice when I make the choice. Beautifully worded sentence by me. Pow! Okay. I don't know why I wasn't jumping there. I think I was I pressing the button? I can't remember if I was pressing the button or not anymore. Let's use quick focus to heal 3 times or insanely quickly, and hey, okay. That showed a little feature. Now, it was an unintentional showing of feature because it was a bellfly killing itself, but anytime you kill an enemy, or an enemy kills itself for whatever reason, there is a small chance of you getting a single piece of essence from it now that we have the Dream Nail. There's a little bit more involved with that mechanic that I'll go over later. I think, actually, oh yeah, I have Dream Wielder on right now. A subtle effect with Dream Wielder is that apparently, according to the wiki at least, it slightly increases the chances of getting the single essence drop from enemies. Not that it's the best thing in the world, but, you know, it's there. This is just back to where we saved the grub, meaning we've done a full circuit in this room, and we've done everything that there is to see here. Now to move on. See what else this place holds underneath. It is kind of a weird little, like, side path that just, you know, it ultimately dead ends. The only reason to go down there is to meet an NPC and then get a piece of pale ore, and then you're just being taken back out. But it's got some fun enemies to fight down there. Alright, first of all, there's this shiny doorway I ignored. Oh my god, I really want to put on Gathering Swarm. Maybe next time I see a bench. Hit you? Return to us. Missing Monarch, we need you now. So as Hallownest was fading away, the king must have disappeared. I guess he was too scared to watch it, or he was too ashamed to watch it, maybe? I'm not sure. Guess we'll have to find out more about that. A true servant gives all for the kingdom. Let Hallownest's pale king relieve you of your burden. Drop all Geo into the fountain? Why not? That actually took all our Geo. Thing is, though, dropping all Geo into the fountain, little bit misleading, because it actually caps at 3,000 Geo. The idea here is that slowly but surely you drop a total of 3,000 Geo into this fountain, and then you get something for it. Perhaps the something that the statue is holding. You know, a little water fountain. Who wouldn't want to carry one of those around, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have to come back here later. We only need like a few hundred more Geo in order to max that out. I just thought I'd tell you right now because, you know, it's like, oh, I'm giving away all my Geo and for fucking what? But no, you have to give it 3,000 Geo in total. Once you do give it 3,000 Geo, it doesn't take any more of it. So, like, if you have more than 3,000 Geo on hand, it will only take 3,000. And then it'll give you something. I'm just killing these guys so I can slowly work my way back up. I don't think Cornifer has anything else to say, or else I'd talk to him. Look at those spikes, man. Those look Okay, I was gonna say they look fancy, but they actually don't. They look like teeth of some large beast. I do like that visual design. Let's check out what's down, because this place apparently goes even freaking deeper. At some point, we're gonna hit the nether, or I guess we're gonna hit bedrock, and then after that, the void. This already kind of looks like bedrock around us. Got a big door with that, and a billboard next to it. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Our pure vessel has ascended. Beyond lies only the refuse and regret of its creation. We shall enter that place no longer. And no one else shall be allowed to enter the place. Mysterious. I wonder what's behind here. Guess we'll have to see what that is at another time. It's worth noting that the Whispering Root in the Forgotten Crossroads talked about something about the vessel, and the Dreamers were talking about the vessel. What that sign just down there referred to as the pure vessel. Hold on a second. Okay, you can't bounce off of that. Alright. There's a certain skip you can do with one of these areas later in the game where you can just barely not make the jump. You can bounce off something in the environment to get up there. I'll show it when the time comes. In the meantime, though, only place left to go is left. I get it? It's the only place left to go. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, yeah, we heard some mention about a vessel, particularly from the Dreamers. And they say that the vessel is weakening, the plague is springing anew, and their seals must hold as a result of that. Wonder what that could be referring to. And the Whispering Rune Crossroads was talking about a vessel. Maybe. Alright. Symbol of a bench? Well, if it isn't the consequences of my actions. You know what? I'll go without it. Let's just cut this out. Hold on. Hold on. I know you can Crystal Heart across this. You're supposed to Crystal Heart across this. But can I just bounce? I think I can. Oh my god. You don't need Crystal Heart for this. Wait a minute. You don't need Crystal Heart? Hold on. Maybe you need it at the end. I'm not really sure. Anyway, in the middle is this, this platform. I haven't found a bench, so I haven't been able to put on Gathering Swarm, and so I just lost, like, half of that. Oh my god. I need to put on Gathering Swarm as soon as I can. Can you do this? Can you actually... Oh no. It doesn't look like you're able to, and that sends you all the way back here. Okay. Okay, that's just background. It's not actually there. No, I don't think it's possible. You can go all the way there with just bounces, but you will need Crystal Heart to get up past that ledge, so... Alright, can't do a skip. I was about to say, like, man, this really changes things for any future, like, Steel Soul runs that I do or whatever. Or I'm, like, trying to beat the game in one session. This area of Ancient Basin has wind blowing. I've always thought this was one of the coolest things. This combined with that area in Soma, the Abyss, one of the creepiest freaking areas I've ever seen in a game. When you're down there and you have that big weather, like, torrent going through that produces a lot of water current. It's like genuine, it's weather all the way down there, that deep in the ocean. And so I've always been fascinated by the idea of weather taking place in caves. I've also just been fascinated by underground in general. Like, underground levels in platformers are always my favorite types of levels. I've also really liked big open caves with lava in them. Can I just jump? Okay, no, those walls aren't wall jumpable. So you have to drop down here. This is the only place we can go. Hello! Bye! Hello, and goodbye. Ah, finally I can get all the geo from this one. Oh, imagine if this one was in a place you couldn't go. Anyway, yeah, that's why I like Ancient Basin so much, is because it's just so fascinating to me. The fact that it's such a deep underground place, it's got wind blowing, things like that. I've always liked this area for that reason, and I also like how it doesn't have any music at all. Any music or color in its visuals at all. Really sets the place apart from all the other areas in the game. New enemy! This is a Maw-lurk. They are an immobile Mawlek that can only spam fireballs in every single direction. Or I guess the more we get to know this thing, the less and less those resemble fireballs. As that one commenter from my first playthrough told me. Anyway, can hit you with that. I'm mostly interested in getting the soul from you, though. They're extremely tanky, and they just kind of spam shoot that all over the place. If you want the easiest strategy, go in for a couple hits, back off, and then wait for them to stop shooting, wait for the fireballs to disappear, go back in for more. I think that's the easiest way to fight them. These guys are light seeds. They do not attack you whatsoever, they just run away from you. That said, they do have a journal entry, so I will be trying to kill as many as I can from this point on. You there are another Malark on the ceiling this time. I would not recommend going after this one. I do not recommend trying to kill this one. I think it takes a lot of hits from this spell. And now I can't even reach it anymore now that I'm out of soul, so yeah, we're just gonna move on past it. I do like all this stuff on the ground, though this does look hazardous. This looks like something you can't step in, and when certain other enemies actually do cause lingering hazards on the ground for their fireballs landing on the ground, that can be a little confusing of a visual, I guess. I like to hit them with the upward strike, that way I don't get pushed back every hit, and I don't have to worry about falling into those spikes. Oh god, okay, this guy... Avoiding damage from this guy is probably, like, one of the biggest crapshoots in this game. Most of the time, damage is, like, perfectly avoidable, but this guy, like, I just lucked my way through there. I just kind of pressed the buttons randomly, hoped it worked out, and it did. Okay, let's kill all of you. I was, like, going for the ones ahead of me, but they were also getting ahead of me. And inside of the belly of this beast, we have another simple key on a corpse. Mine. It's actually mine now. It'd be so funny. It would be funny, but also unfitting. If it said mine before you picked up the key, then after you picked up the key, it said yours. Got these down. Wonder what this thing was. Some huge worm? Would have been terrifying when it was alive. I'm glad it isn't. Pow! Maybe it's foreshadowing for a future enemy. Oh, got it. Ah, there we go. Ah, okay. How did I get knocked towards him? That was weird. Did I, like, start pressing backwards and then it knocks you in the opposite direction? I'm not sure. Maybe I just got hit in just the right position. Like, based on where the projectile was and where I was, that it knocked me the other way. Interesting. I have enough money for that bench now. Blast you! And then I think I can mostly stand here safely. It's only like a couple of arcs of fireballs that can actually hit me down there. You'll want to watch carefully for that. But as long as you watch carefully, you should be fine. Another new enemy. What are these guys called again? I'm not sure, but they're like a lava ghost is what I used to call them. I remember that. Infected balloon. Single cell of infection. Has a simple mind, can float using internal gases. We've been seeing, down here, we've been seeing a lot of infection-related things. Like, look at that. These things are covered in orange blobs, so is this. The brooding Moloch was also covered in orange blobs. And then there's these. Single-cell organism, completely infected. This is kind of the point in the game where you start seeing more and more of this infection. And I completely didn't acknowledge it, but as we were going through that other area, there was a lot of infection over there as well. And it had clearly infected the lesser Molochs down there. Wonder what this infection's about. Well, I guess we've been hearing about it the whole game, like the plague. The plague that takes over their eyes or something. The plague that makes them angry. I don't remember how it's been described, but yeah, we've been hearing about it, so... This is the time we're actually, like, seeing the substance in its force. In its full force. Break down this one-way wall. This wasn't just some random dead end, of course. Why would it have been? I wish back here that there were spikes I could bounce off of to get up there, but I guess sometimes I can't just cheese my way through everything in this game. Cut the grass, mow the lawn down here. And then... you know what to expect from this room. Let me pop some of this stuff, get this crap out of here. I'm also the cleanup crew at the same time as a lawnmower. Not all of it is destroyable, though. A million light seeds come out from the floor and go into its head. I'm gonna take this chance to kill as many of them as I can for the thing. But no matter what happens, they complete the infection and create the Broken Vessel boss. This guy's kind of like Hornet, but a little bit different. He can jump around the room like that. We want to watch where he's landing. It can be really hard to tell where he's landing. He can try to stomp you from the ceiling, launching 4 balls of infection from the floor. Really seeing more and more of this infection. He can dash forwards like that. He will not drop off until the dash is done, which has a very regular, standard little animation, I guess. And after you've dealt enough damage, he'll start spawning infected balloons to come after you on occasion. Although, he'll then immediately despawn them once he does this special attack that happens once his health is low enough. You kind of saw that. He just launches a bunch of projectiles. Stand where they aren't going to go. You'll be fine. Hit that. I'd like to show more of the movement involved with fighting this guy. Okay. Okay, yeah, just dash out of the way. Jump over that. Honestly, kind of a simple boss when you get to know him, but, you know, it's a bunch of fast movements. Hornet was really, really hard for exactly that reason, so this guy's not much easier. There we go. Oh yeah, when you're close to him, you can also do that, overhead slash. Probably the least effective of his attacks, as you're most likely going to be far enough away from him by the time he starts it up. But you never know. Could always be... Oh god, it could always be rough. Here's another one of this attack. Find that jumping can help you get out of the way faster. And then... and then I just miss seeing that projectile, and I get hit by it anyway. Dash right over him. Wow, that was fun. Do be aware that at the end of his dashes, he will slash around himself, so you want to be careful with that. Let's heal up those 2 points of health. I know I said I was going to try not healing against boss fights, but that kind of went out the window in episode 2, so I decided not to continue that. Alright, there we go. This attack again. I will dodge it this time. Wow. Did I hit you with both? Maybe I hit him with just the shockwave. Whatever. Just gonna heal for no reason. Blast you! Blast you down! That's it! I can see him being pretty challenging, but overall, I found him a lot easier than bosses like Hornet or Mantis Lords. And in the original creature's dying moments, it lifted its head to look at us. It does resemble us a fair bit, though with the differently shaped horns and a significantly bigger head. And I think a significantly bigger body as well. This boss is supposed to demonstrate what the infection does. It's the infection that's been driving these enemies crazy and causing them to attack people. It's been basically like taking over their dead bodies, reanimating them, and turning them into zombies. Where'd this infection come from, I wonder? Further on we go. Into the heat of the wind? That's not, like, the high part of the wind. The part where the wind is strongest. Whatever kind of a saying equals that, that's what I meant to say there. Just pretend I said that instead. Wall jump up. And we found the source of the wind, or so I think. I'm not actually sure if this is supposed to be the source of the wind. Either way, it's an item. Consumed! The monarch... Wait, why are we eating all these power-ups? Press jump while in the air to flap the wings. Use these ethereal wings to sail above enemies and discover new paths. Finally! I've been waiting for this ability for so long, my god! The double jump is awesome. It's what turns this game into controlling pretty good to controlling excellently. It increases your movement options by so much. I love this thing. Anyway, it was the source of the wind after all. Because now there's no noise at all. I love that about this place. You have the wind going the entire time you're going through this place, then you pick up the thing and it goes silent and you're like, is something about to happen? I like that. Gotta double jump on the way back out because we can't do that otherwise. Broken Vessel, you okay in here? You look like you're ascending to a higher plane of existence with Gorb. Well, I hope you have fun with him. He's a weird fellow, though. I'd watch your back if I were you, around him. Seems like nothing special's happening, it's just, we have double jump now. I guess that's the most special thing that's happened, but like, you know, nothing else special's happening. Jump up here. This optional area, now that we can access it. Another infected balloon. I'll take those. The infected balloons inside of Broken Vessel's boss fight only have 1 health and they don't drop any Geo. They're a special version of them. The boss minion version. The regular ones take more than 1 hit and, well, obviously, they drop Geo. As you've been seeing. There we go. Can I circumvent this by bouncing along spikes? Well, I can get part of the way there. There we go. I got most of the way there. Dash and double jump here, and ow! Excuse me, I have a grub to save. I don't need you interrupting, getting in the way. There we have that. This is just a challenge for showing how you can use dash and double jump together. Similarly to dash, double jump can only be used once while in the air. If you touch the ground again, then you recharge it and can use it again. Either that, or you can bounce on spikes to gain another use of it. I love that feature so much. It adds a lot to the platforming side of this game, makes it even more fun. Anything else in this room? No, that's it. Just the grub, the geopile, and that's all. Back out here, we have ambience again. It's honestly very comforting compared to no sound at all. Games should take advantage of that more often. Have more areas with, like, no audio whatsoever if they want you to, like, build up to something. Kill machine with a symbol of a bench. Yes, indeed! I have the maximum amount of geo I could possibly have if your geo count was an 8-bit number, which thankfully it isn't. That animation is just so funny every time. Oh, I have Fury of the Fallen. Get that off of me! We're putting on an actually useful charm. I guess there's not much better of a time to show off what this does. After all, I am a little ways into the region where this charm's effects are well known. Sure, let's put on Defender's Crest. Let's show this charm off. Yep, I smell now. Isn't it amazing? What a glorious charm to wear all the time. I suppose before we're done with this place for good, we can now go up this way with our double jump. So let's see what's here. I mean, we already kind of know what's here since we saw it on the map, but now I get to see it in person. The palace grounds. I'm gonna be rubbing my stink all over this royal palace. I don't know why, that's like the pettiest thing you could do to a fallen kingdom. Hello there. A corpse in white armor. Those look awful lot like dream particles. Perhaps I can use the dream nail on the... Okay. Apparently not. Go past him, see more bodies. Where have you gone, dear king? Probably went to McDonald's. He'll be back at some point. Royalty are allowed to eat as long as they want to, as we all know. Behind a breakable wall is a hidden station, a hidden stag station. I don't have enough geo. I guess we'll have to come back later. All right. Seriously, man, me giving all of that geo to the fountain is showing its consequences, that's for sure. Fun fact, this station did not exist on the launch version of Hollow Knight. It was added in the first major update for the game, known as Hidden Dreams. I'll go over these updates in more detail later. But yes, the station was added to make it much easier to go back down into Ancient Basin and like the bottom areas of the map, whereas before it was pretty annoying to do. So I think it is definitely a great change that they added that. I guess I'll have to climb my way back out now. There you're seeing the effects of the spray. It's a purely passive effect, so unlike Spore Shroom, you don't need to do anything for it. That said, the effect is a very, very small range. Oh, I forgot I can just double jump. What am I doing? I have double jump. I have double jump now. I love this, though. I'm killing an enemy for standing near it. It's great. I didn't think the smell could be so volatile for some, but I guess the infection doesn't really mix with poo smell. After all, Dung Defender is not infected. Speaking of which, I should probably point that out. You've probably been seeing that every enemy we've been hitting is leaving orange gas or orange blood. As we now know, the infection is colored orange, meaning they are infected. And we're like hitting the infection gas out of them or whatever. But did you notice? The mantises in the Mantis Village did not leave the same orange effect, meaning they are not infected. They just attacked you because they were defending their home. And we can see that because now that we've defeated the Mantis Lords, they all respect us. They're now all passive to us. If they were infected, they would be hostile every time. That's a really nice little detail. Goes to show how much they thought about their lore here. I like it a lot. Alright, with no choice left but to backtrack out of Ancient Basin, I suppose. We shall do that, and I will see you in an more important area. Whatever I'm going to show next, because I'm going to show something probably, I'll see you there. To the right is a hidden wall revealing a whispering root in this tower? Elevator shaft. No, it's not a tower. It's not a tower, it's built into the ground. What would be that? What would be the opposite of a tower? Like, built... I guess not the opposite of a tower, but like a towerish room that's built into the ground. A long straight room built in under the ground. What would that be called? Actual like towers traditional towers could also be considered shafts. Maybe that's like the room within the tower and not actually the whole structure itself. Because I'm talking about, like, what if there was a tower, but instead of sticking out from the ground, it was being dug into the ground? What would that be called? Ugh. I agree. That's my opinion as well. That's that essence collected? Now, I'm curious if Dung Defender has anything to say when I smell like him. Ah, you exude the proud odor of the just. Truly a mighty knight you are. Maybe you are a little infected. What the fuck? The true odor of the just. He's so weird, but I can't help but love him. What's up, Lamb? I've got a lot more relics for you. What do you think you're doing coming to my nice little shop stinking like that? These relics have been through enough. They don't need you spreading your stench all over them. Crawl back to the waterways or wherever you came from. I love that. This short one's got an odd look about it, though vaguely familiar. His thoughts don't change. It's just his spoken dialogue when you have this. Quite the mysterious thing. I actually took your advice. I crawled back down to the waterways, and I got cleaner. Alright, let's see what more he has to say about these things. A Wanderer's Journal? Have you heard the saying about the stone journals? If danger lurks by and your nail is dulled with wear, just swing your journal at your foes with blunt and deadly flair. It's a good one, isn't it? And accurate. They sure have a heft to them. Well, you could use Wanderer's Journals as like a throwable weapon. That'd be fun, but I suppose you already have a projectile attack that's much cooler and much stronger. Another Hallownest seal? Others have told me there's a statue out by the city's entrance depicting a large knightly figure. Could be one of the kingdom's great five. I'd have looked it over myself, but the game's long been shut tight, and it's too much hassle taking the long way around with all those blasted husks about. He's referring to the knight statue right here at the entrance to this place. Apparently, this could have been one of the kingdom's great 5 knights. Suppose we'll have to learn more about them later. Also, we have a special marking there. Did I ever go over the warriors' grave pins in greater detail? They mark where you can find warrior dreams. There's actually a warrior dream in that room. We went there back in episode 3, and it just had like a little sign and nothing else, which is what all the warrior dreams do at first. But yeah, we now have someone to fight there if we go back. I guess I'll have to get around to that, maybe this time. I'll be heading back in that direction anyway. What's that? A Wanderer's Journal? I have so many of these now. Once I get to deciphering them all, I'll be the preeminent scholar on Hallownest's dead. Here's a king's idol, something a little more special. A king's idol? If you look closely, each of these idols is slightly different. There are fine engravings about them that take some time to decipher. I suspect each was tailored to the owner, a personalized symbol of the king's omnipotence. Let's seal the deal with this. Yep, that's another Hallownest seal, alright. Shop will be overflowing with these things soon. God, I never guessed so many would still be lying around. They're as common as you make them seem. Perhaps I've been offering too much for them? It'd be cool if the price actually, if his sell price actually dropped for these things, but they don't. Look at this, with just selling some relics, I'm already well beyond where I was before I threw things into the fountain. Quite incredible how many of these you've collected. You must have traveled the breadth of the kingdom to accrue such a haul. This is his final dialogue, and he now says this for every single Wanderer's Journal from this point onwards. So I suppose there's no reason not to sell the remainder of them. And no, you still can't sell multiple at once, even though that would be great to have, because, my god, why can't you? Another Hallownest seal? Pass it over then. That's all he says for that one, I like it. Hallownest seal, you're a talented collector, alright, the best I've met. If you keep at it, I worry I'll run out of space in the shop. And that's his last dialogue for Hallownest seals. Let's sell the rest of them, because I doubt I'm gonna die very soon. Looks like you don't have any relics on you. If you manage to find any in good condition, bring them to me, and I'll give you a fair amount of geo for them. That's what he says once his dialogue is run out. Admiring my shop, are you? Well, I'm no squatter. This place was dead empty when I moved in, and there's no one left alive who'd lay claim to the tower. Do you pay anyone for this space? Because somehow I doubt it. If you fancy yourself a domicile in the city, I don't know how to pronounce that word, go find somewhere else, preferably in another building. I'm well content with just my relics, I'm not after neighbors. Well, sorry to say, you got a billion neighbors patrolling this building all the time, including Soul Sanctum up above. I don't know how you deal with their like around. If you progress through the game in a certain order, it's possible to obtain double jump before getting to the east side of City of Tears, in which case you can approach the room from this side, and even though the door is there, double jump, wall jump up here, and get around it. I love all these little ways you can get around the world. Like, there's so many ways you can progress through this game. It's so cool, and you can tell they really thought about it all. I guess there's some that they didn't think about, but even the ones they didn't think about, it's cool that they exist, and they're clearly not going to patch it out, because this is kind of the point. I think they did want to make this world, like, really open. They didn't care where the player went at any time. They didn't care if the player missed out on some area somewhere. They just let you kind of wander, do whatever you want. Speaking of doing whatever I want, I'm kind of lost on what to do next. So I think I'll just go around and take care of some minor tasks for now, and maybe we'll run across something bigger. Oh no, I was confident I wasn't gonna die, then I died anyway. Oh, this was my last... Oh no, I have to make it all the way back there. Alright, that's fine. What did I just get the... Oh. Alright, I got a lore entry, so I may as well read about Broken Vessel while we're at it. Shape of this creature, I've seen something like it before, more than once perhaps. Looks a little like the bugs of Hallownest, but not quite the same. Where did these empty little wanderers come from? I'm an empty little wanderer. Where did I come from? Seems to want to latch onto any living thing that comes by with its sharp little teeth. It'll leave its cousins alone though, so it isn't completely mindless. Wanted to show this route. Bam! It actually kind of feels cool stopping in midair there to get out of that. Now that we've gotten the remaining 2 spells, our Shade is able to cast all 3. And I'd like to show off those attacks real quick so you can have an idea of what they look like. That's the upward attack. Doesn't try to back up beforehand. That's how you know how it does that. It's really slow doing the spells. Like, look at this. Yeah, it's so much slower at doing the spells. Probably because, like, it's dead. It's us but dead, so it's not as strong at things like that. Its nail attack is probably the most deadly. Now, go up above. Interestingly, it's not playing the music box sound that it normally does. I guess this room just has a bug about that. Can you do the stomp, please? Here, I'm gonna go down. Stomp. Stomp on my head. Stomp on me. Stomp. Stomp on my head. Come on. Come on. Okay, well, he can do it. I'm sure you trust me. You're probably not gonna be attacking your Shade from down below anyway. Oh, there it is. There's the music box sound. Okay. Sure. And it takes 3 hits now. Probably take like a little extra amount of hits since we've upgraded our health since the last time we saw it. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, I'm gonna drop the rest of my Geo in the fountain at 276. That's all I had, I swear. Hey, look at that. The trick worked. Now that we spent all 3,000 Geo in this fountain, we get ourselves a new soul vessel bubble. I like that face. I like the shy guy face. That allows us to store an extra use of soul in reserve. It works exactly the same as the first reserve bubble. No need for further explanation. And now that I have even more money, I'm gonna go unlock Hidden Station, and then we're gonna use it to travel back to some other parts. Alright. 300 Geo to unlock this it was? Yes, indeed. Let's see what the stack has to say about this, so I have to hit the bell. There we go. That one took a little longer for some reason. I like how this station is shaped differently because it was added after the launch of the game. That doesn't say anything else. Ah, what station is this hidden all the way at the bottom of the world? Until I heard the bell calling, I didn't even know the stagways traveled so deep. You've discovered something quite astounding, little one. No matter how old I grow, this world keeps surprises like this stowed away. I'm gonna take you around the place now. I'm gonna go back up to Dirtmouth first, and then I'd like to show off a few of Defender Crest's other effects. It mostly involves, like, aside from the actual ability itself, it mostly involves NPC dialogue, but not every NPC has dialogue for it. For instance, I don't think the stag has any dialogue for it. However, Elderbug sure does. Let's see what Elderbug has to say at the current moment in time, though. To reach Dirtmouth, most travelers take circuitous routes around the cliffs beside us. It's a hard trek now, but in the kingdom's prime, things were far simpler. There's an old pass in the cliffs that once allowed easy access. The bridge up to it has long since crumbled away, and even without it, a huge door bars entry. I can't complain, mind you. It's meant we've only ever had to accommodate a trickle of travelers, even during our busiest times. I wouldn't want hordes of bugs to descend on Dirtmouth. I like the quiet. You must have hated this kingdom in its prime, man. The bench may be iron, yep. Okay. That's all you have to say for now. But what if I smelled like shit? What do you have to say now? Can you smell something? There's suddenly a horrid stench in the air. I swear, the town usually smells much nicer than this. Please accept my humble apology. I like to think that it's the charm it smelled that, like, exudes the stink. Just, the stink has been so infused in that charm. You seem to have no opinions on this, and also your face is immune to the stink clouds because your face is standing in front of it. Interesting, I guess that's just another layer of animation. I'm assuming neither of you guys have anything to say about it. You seem a little different. Something has changed in your bearing. I think this is unrelated to the stink charm, but yeah, that has changed. Ah, the way you hold your nail. So you've learned a nail art. Very interesting. I wonder, do you have the passion to continue your training? And do you also have the passion to take a goddamn shower?
Pantera?
In times past, I wouldn't have spoken with your likes, but now the rest of my cast are wonderfully distantly deceased. If I didn't welcome you, I'd never have anyone to share my happiness with. Was just checking if she had anything more to say about our stink, but apparently not. Defender's Crest will, however, have an effect on Tuck. Your smell? Are you a friend too? If you're a friend, I'll share my food with you. When you see him again, our friend, tell him thank you for helping me. This implies that Tuck was once helped out by Dung Defender and now considers him a friend. She'll give you a free rancid egg for this. What are your thoughts? I'll find you again. The water will bring you to me. I just need to keep searching and praying. When we meet again, I want you to say that you're sorry. I'm assuming that's talking about someone other than Dung Defender. Alright, now she wants money. You can only be friends for so long. You don't want it? I'm gonna keep it. It's worth noting, Tuck is yet another Kickstarter backer created character. Guess we may as well see who made it. Emily Doolan, who made it. I'm not really sure. Did she have different dialogue just then? I didn't notice. Thank you for tolerating my stench. I tried to bow to him. There we go. While I'm at it, I guess I may as well show off one of the charm combinations that it has. Spore Shroom, and I'll put something else on in addition to that. Sure, Dream Wielder, whatever. I think we're about to be fighting a Dream Boss anyway. Anyway, main deal with Defender's Crest combined with Spore Shroom. Upon using Spore Shroom, you actually expand the gas cloud around yourself as well, and I think that does more damage. Yes, okay, so Spore Shroom in its original form deals 26 damage every 4.1 seconds or so. Defender's Crest and Spore Shroom together deal 40 damage every 4.1 seconds. Quite a big upgrade. It's almost like twice as much. I mean, obviously, it's still just tick damage, but, you know, that combined with the tick damage that Defender's Crest already does on its own, that isn't a bad effect. Those were really weak enemies I used it on, but still. I think I might want to try out this combination at some point later. I just don't love wearing Defender's Crest, because, you know, it is kind of an unpleasant charm to have on. And tell that to a small streamer I watched who kept it on for, like, half of her playthrough. Anyway, climbing up this room. You will fall before my stink! And some of my nails, too. And my stink! There we go, I actually finished him off with that. I hit him like twice with the nail. Return back to Leg Eater with Defender's Crest equipped. Ew, that smell you carry with you. Very tasty. You're sweet to share such a tasty smell with me. Do you want a gift in return? Beaver. Yes, my beautiful gifts. I'll give them to you. Beaver. You get a discount from Leg Eater with this charm on. So with that, I'll be able to buy the remaining 2 fragile charms very easily. I've already been over what these do. Fragile Greed increases the amount of Gia you get, and Fragile Strength increases your nails damage by 50%. It's pretty good. I got nothing left to show you. You want something more? You're so greedy. Anything more to say while I have this? The air has changed. I just felt something new. Dangerous things are drifting through here now. Are you scared? stay here. I won't protect you. Good to know. I wasn't gonna protect you either. I'll make more, then they'll give me more Geo. If someone comes by, they have to give me their Geo. If you have enough Geo, you become a king. When I get enough Geo, I'll become a king. Oh, you're just in it for the money. That's actually a pretty funny backstory. Wonder what he means by that, though. The air's moving, and it isn't my stench. That's unrelated. Basically, anything that we're encountering in this episode can be just chalked up to my stench. That's all I want to show with Defender's Crest right now, so allow me to remove it and replace it with something much nicer to have on. And then let me switch around some of my other charms. Sure, I'm not going to use it otherwise. Let's throw that on in addition, and one-notch charm, so Sprint Master. So a little thing with Fragile Greed. The wiki says that it drops, in general, like the amount of Geo you get from every dropped enemy is increased by 20%. That said, it does that 20% increase, I believe anyway, from what I read. Okay, let me just reword this from the fucking beginning. I've been messing this up. For each Geo size, the 1s, the 5s, the 20s, whatever, all of those are each increased by 20% when wearing the charm upon killing an enemy. There we go. I spent forever trying to say that in a totally scuffed way, and I did not manage it. At some point, I gotta show what it's like to wear a Fragile Charm and die with it equipped, but now is not that time. So, I don't have to wait for a little while. I just haven't bothered. I don't know. I should really wear those charms more. I just keep forgetting to. Hello there. I've come to revisit your grave. Hope you don't mind if I do this. There we go.
Wait, child. Why have you come here? Have you come to tame this savage, ruined land? Many have come to purify this place, but all who dwell here are eventually consumed. Yes, even the wild bugs lurking below us. They were once proud like you, but now they are only monsters. Beware dreams of glory, child. Turn back, and do not return.
I've been wearing dreams of glory all along. I challenge you! I'm not actually sure what your motivation is to fight, but here we go. Elder Who launches rings of whatever those are from the sea. I actually don't really know what those are at the moment. They're some kind of weapon, though. You want to avoid them. Will sometimes disappear, launch them like that, or his main attack that he has yet to do. Are you serious, dude? His main attack, which he has yet to do, is that. Okay. You can see how that works. You want to stay in the spaces. And then this, you wait for them to get close and dash out of the way. Or you just dash out of the way for them sooner than that, and then the attack is avoided much, much quicker. Speedrunners hate this boss, and I don't blame them. Elder Who basically, like, disappears to do this attack whenever he wants to. It's all up to RNG, and if you're really unlucky, you could have him disappear, be unavailable to hit for so much of the fight. I'm getting pretty unlucky on that right now. And for that reason, this is one of the most annoying bosses to fight in any kind of 100% speedrun. Otherwise, I feel like this game's bosses are really good for speedrunning, because they're open pretty much all the time. It's just this guy and a few others like him who aren't. There we go. Do this again. This is only 2 attacks. There's nothing really else to it. Stay in the middle. Hiya. I'm actually gonna try not healing this time. God, seriously, dude, I'm starting to feel their frustration with that. Like, come on, please be more visible. I like this guy overall, but I'd say that's his biggest flaw. The fact that he can just, like, up and disappear for the majority of the fight. If he did that attack more often and only did this, like, every 5 or so of that attack, I'd be fine with it. I'm actually getting low on health. There we go. As he's dying, he sounds like he's saying Martin, like the name of his best friend or something. Oh, Martin!
My mind, it clears. Have we been sleeping, child? Ah, I remember. Those proud lords. Were they truly monsters? I remember their eyes now, bright and clear. Why then did I fear them so? If there was madness in that village, it was I who brought it. They were right to cast me out. When I attacked, they were right to kill me?
So Elder Who once lived in the Mantis Village, but eventually he annoyed them a lot, and so they cast him out. But once he eventually fell, I think it's implied the mantises built this grave for him, because they say, we remember the Elder. We would probably be the mantises, who do indeed remember him. That's a nice tie-in to the game's lore that the Warrior Dreams usually don't have a whole lot of, but yeah, that's a very good tie-in. I like that a lot. Probably my favorite Warrior Dream story for that reason. Even though No Eyes is pretty cool. Pretty creepy, I mean. It's also pretty cool. It's cool because it's creepy. I don't know, I like creepy things, alright? We have Whispering Roots we could get, but I think we'll be able to come back around and get those at another time. We'll have an even bigger excuse. So, looking at my time, I think I'd like to do one more thing before ending, so how about we once again go back to City of Tears? It feels like this is like the central area of this episode, and check out what we can unlock with the simple key. Oh. I forgot that I had Isma's Tear and that I could actually safely stay in those. Ooh, we gotta, So we also have this guy's journal entry. Never forget what once was lost, yet do not let it tie you down. Travel the world tending to those affected by the plague. Ah, cool. It was like a healer. The bugs of Hallownest are so pathetic that being infected by poisonous fungi actually increases their chances of survival. They really are absurd creatures. My god, what a savage remark from the hunter there. Oh my god, these guys are being roasted so hard. You've seen that, like, Heavy Blow combined with Steady Body is kind of fun. Your momentum isn't stopped, but it's not like you're gonna accidentally run into the enemies. This is probably the only case where I could see Heavy Blow being anything good, and even then, it's a really niche case. It's more so just for fun than it is for actual combat effectiveness. Like, look at this. I can keep walking forwards and safely attack that guy because I'm just, I'm not, like, walking up to him insanely fast like I would be without having Heavy Blow. Because I'm knocking him farther away, it takes me more time to walk all the way up to him. Took me way too long to say that, so I probably put in a random obtrusive cut there. Very sorry for doing that. It's just, I wish I could talk better in these videos. We've seen the room with the grub. We've seen the room with Emilicia in it. We've seen the room with the gorgeous husk. There is but one more window left to explore. It's a hot spring, and it was locked with a key. Oh my god, I just noticed the tiny keyhole in the side of that. I mean, it makes sense. Why wouldn't there be a keyhole there, right? But I never noticed that before somehow. Aw, it doesn't actually show you inserting the key like it does for the other ones. What a shame. Songstress Marissa, a voice to ease all burdens and still all troubled minds. Cool. I doubt her shows are still running, though. Send this up. And keep sending it up because we got stuff to check out. There's stuff by the sidelines. Actually, we'll send it all the way up to the top because if it's all the way up there, it won't get in our way all the time. Have kind of a pointless one-way door leading to a Wanderer's Journal with you resting inside. Hide. From what? That's honestly kind of ominous. From what? What are you hiding from? Break this open. Then, nothing here. There's nothing here but like a little vanity area. Possibly for Marissa? Not entirely sure about that. And what about this? No, okay. Sometimes there's just like a geopile, a corpse with some Dreamnail dialogue. Marissa. Yeah, sorry, your show's over. Ooh, and sometimes there's a secret room. Got a rancid egg in the middle here. Then we have you guys. Tastes wrong. Hungry. The other room, we can see what appears to be... I think this is supposed to be like bugs being chopped up, as in themselves. And we have a ghost here.
Frank, you look pretty skinny. Very scrawny. That's the way to be, I reckon. Just look at me, a great big, juicy, fatty, oily, scrumptious bug. No wonder I'm so popular around here.
I guess it's just a bug Hallownest culture thing that the fatter you are, the better? Because that's definitely not how it works. Not how it works in the human world.
I've been waiting an awfully long while. Surely it's dinner time soon?
Poggy thorax. That sounds like a reference to Pog or whatever, but I don't think Pog was a popular thing back in 2015 or whenever the Kickstarter backers created these characters. So what I believe is happening here. Remember that back at the beginning, this place is locked shut, and in fact, that door is still closed. We had to open a way around it. Basically, the city of Tears went on quarantine after the infection started spreading in order to try and contain it. We've been through a quarantine ourselves in real life, so we know how these go. In this case, though, because no one was allowed to leave, no one was allowed to enter, they were all cut off from any supplies of food, and as it ran lower and lower, they may have had to resort to cannibalism. I never put this connection together until someone explained it in a video, and when they did, I was like, oh my god, that's actually really cool storytelling. I like this. I love the secret room for exactly that reason. I believe these people in here all starved to death. They were trying to eat the rancid eggs. This guy probably did, and said that it tastes wrong. I thought I'd explain the story for you all because, you know, I didn't know it was here on my first playthrough, and so I thought I'd grant some insight there. Here we go. I love little small sub-stories like that. It's really cool. Alright, that seems to be everything in the elevator shaft. Now we can't actually get up there, so we're gonna have to call the elevator all the way back down and go back up. That's fine. I love riding elevators. I had like a big elevator obsession when I was younger. I just loved the shit out of them. Couldn't get enough of them. Was always like imagining building a tiny elevator on the side of some like tiny model figure of a house or something. I don't know. I've always like dreamed of having an elevator in my house. I thought it would be the coolest thing. Man, I was such a weird kid. Alright, all the way up to the top. This really is the longest fucking elevator ride. You know what? Go back down. That way I can just wall jump up instead. So I guess that wouldn't take that much. That's not what I meant. Go back down. Now we emerge inside the pleasure house. I may have walked into the wrong side of the city. Oh god, maybe I should consider turning back. Now, let's check this out. Got a window there showing a view we can't see, though, like, that little piece of building in the background looks cool enough, I guess. This is a little ticket booth. And that's because in the next room is a concert hall. And it looks like she's still performing after all.
Welcome to my stage, little one. I am Marissa, a songstress of some renown, though given the sorry state of this place, you may find it hard to believe. Huge crowds once flocked to hear me sing. Then something changed. The audience, once so enwrapped, began to leave. I continued to sing, yet my voice fell silent upon their ears. Perhaps you'd care to listen to me sing? You'll be the first in an age to hear it.
Will freaking do. I'll let you enjoy her song for a bit. Whatever you do, do not dream nail her expecting there to be more. Do not make the grave mistake I and so many other first-time players have. Just like all the other ghosts, dream nailing her will kill her and give you one piece of essence. Not worth it, because that means you lose access on sitting in front of her and listening to her song forever. This is one of the greatest relaxation spots in the game if you keep her alive, so definitely do not dream nail her. I should make like a YouTube short, a PSA about that. For anyone who hasn't played Hollow Knight yet, if you see a character that looks like this, do not dream nail them for the love of God. Up at the top of the pleasure house is a hot spring. And a unique looking bench that doesn't have a kind of back seating. This is kind of an uncomfortable bench to sit on then, isn't it? I would like to show one quick thing with charms here in a bit, but first, I'll break this open to show. This takes us back out here to this elevator shaft, which took us up to the useless area here, and the elevator took us up to the resting grounds. Very cool. We can now access the pleasure house just by climbing up the shaft there. Then, for a brief amount of time, I would like to re-equip Defender's Crest. This view you have is pretty cool, even if you can't see a lot of it. I suppose the imagination is always better than what the view would actually look like. If you have Defender's Crest on, the flies swarm around you. They appear in the gas cloud, and they even follow you out of the room, all the way until you then exit the room, whether it's through the top or through the bottom. This is an incredible detail, and like my mind was literally blown when I saw it for the first time. Like that's so cool, man. Now let's wash this off real quick. Much better. Alright, I'm gonna rethink my charm setup for next time. Here, let's take all this off. I put on Compass just for fun, but I think I'm gonna put back on Fragile Heart, maybe also Fragile Greed. I would like to show what it's like for these charms to break, so hopefully this will help me remember to do that. Then we got one notch left. Welcome back, Spore Shroom. I think I shall make that everything that we have to do today. We made a lot of good progress. We went all the way down to Ancient Basin, got our double jump ability. Now controlling the night is more fun than ever. And with our double jump ability, there are so few places in this world that we can't reach. It is now much easier to make a list of places we can't go as opposed to places we can go. So with that, next time on Hollow Knight, I don't know what I want to do. At some point I have to go grab that. It's just a rancid egg though, so I could do that whenever. I really don't know what I want to do. Maybe with now all these abilities collected, I should start going for some of the Dreamers, and we can get the darkest and creepiest one out of the way first with Deep Nest. So, yeah, I guess next time on Hollow Knight, I'll take care of a bunch of small things. Maybe revisit the Crossroads a little bit for some old time's sake. We did see some more grubs after all. And then, I guess, back into Deep Nest it is. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's any other place I can go. There's a lot of small places, but we'll have to take those out slowly but certainly. But yeah, that's the plan for now. So, thank you all for watching if you did, and as always, I'll see you all in the future.